years of obesity and heart disease may be blamed on the backs of two researchers who have been found to have been taking bribes in order to downplay sugar's involvement with coronary disease. So this is according to new research released by the University of San Francisco, or University of California, San Francisco rather, and it was released recently in the Journal of the JAMA Internal Medicine Journal. And it told a story of something really interesting and really corrupt, and I hope we can get into it today. So between the 1950s and the 1960s, research indicated that both saturated fats and sugar played a role in heart disease. Following something called Project 226, which was funded by the Sugar Research Foundation, now the Sugar Association, sugar's role in heart disease was downplayed significantly and all but ignored for decades. And this sounds so sinister.
And then there's
so
a bunch of people that are now deceased that probably could not sleep at night for 50 years because they were almost single-handedly poisoning Americans by shifting everything to low fat, no fat, where sugar is the real, I mean, just as much a culprit of heart disease as fats are.
Well, according to the documents that were released, the Sugar Research Foundation, I can't get over this SRF thing. The Sugar Research Foundation enlisted someone named Frederick Stare, who was then the chair of Harvard's nutrition department and a member of the trade group's advisory board. And then he got in touch with Mark Hegstead and Robert McGandy, members of Stare's department as well, who would go on to work on this project in which what seemed to happen was they either had to skew results or discount other research that said sugar is definitely a culprit into something that pretty much let sugar off the hook as being something related to obesity, something that's related to heart disease. And it's pretty damning, actually. It shows that the researchers received a total of $6,500 for this deception, and it is the 2016 equivalent of $48,900, so approximately $49,000 today.
I mean, this is so scary because of the bigger picture of how many scientific studies can we actually trust? Because things that I've read about are that there's so much, not corruption per se, but pressure for scientists to have findings that they often don't do a second test of what they found. And then things like this where you find that they've been getting money. I mean, obviously this was 50 years ago, and in the 80s they implemented you have to list what your conflicts are, but still, I don't trust anybody now.
Well, I mean, when you say you need new research to make conclusions, it's not because the old research doesn't matter. It's because in the past there weren't rules that said you have to tell us if you have any conflicts of interest. You have to say who is funding you. Because a lot of these times, we have even studies today, we do have it displayed who is funding these research groups that are definitely not third parties. They have some vested interest at least. So this law wasn't made until 1984. This research appeared in the 1960s and was not subject to this, and thus it did not appear that the Sugar Research Foundation, I keep wanting to call it Federation, was in any way involved. The Sugar Association went on to question the UCSF researchers' motives in digging up this issue and reframing the past to conveniently align with the currently trending anti-sugar narrative.
That was hilarious to me. Oh yeah? You think you found out about the bribes that we were giving 50 years ago? Well,
you're just
who's
doing
bribing you?
Because it's cool now, basically.
So crazy that they can't just issue an apology,
like
say sugar should be used moderately. It's not like people are going to stop eating sugar.
Sugar is,
we know it's bad for us.
Addictive substance. I mean, I feel a lot better when I limit my sugar intake.
But then I look at my pants and I want a donut.
I want a donut. I want it, and then I want another one, and then it just, oh dear.
I actually went 30 days without sugar one time, and the first week's hard, but it was the best I've ever felt in my life.
I usually feel a lot better, and I usually feel a lot more awake and energized when I avoid it, but then I just want that goddamn donut. So it just gets ruined right away. I can't. I would love to, but I can't. Thank you, Big Sugar. So yeah, it's just you were talking about this earlier. The rippling repercussions of this is that for decades People thought they could, abstain from fats, but have a high sugar diet, and then their health would be fine. And that is not the case. How many lives could have been changed differently if they had this information, if they had made adjustments for their health that reflected it? It's kind of insane that all this could be traded off for $48,600 equivalent today. That's such a tiny amount of money for such huge and widespreading consequences.
That's how much their souls were worth.
Yeah, I guess. That seems very low. I mean, minimum $1 million for me, at least.
Yeah. If anyone would like to buy Kim Horcher's soul, it's on sale now for $1 million.
Pretty low, right?
Place your bids.
You could win a game show and then just buy my soul with the money. I'm mostly joking. 80% joking. Audience, how do you feel when you stop eating sugar? Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.